Okay, good.
See if I can make myself a little lighter here. Video settings. Adjust for low light, that's automatic. Let's do it manually. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Let me get my grid back. I don't see everybody. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Please make the mandala mudra. Here is the great earth filled with the smell of incense and covered with a blanket of flowers. The great mountain, the four continents wearing a jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of a Buddha and offer it all to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayame. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, of the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create by the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, I will attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. Okay, so what's the result of the vote? You guys want to have me keep doing this, or do you want to go elsewhere?
Hi, dear teacher. We had I posted two posts in the Russian Telegram group and English Telegram group, and we everybody who voted for your class. We had 6 votes in English, and then Jackie just said she's the 7th one, and 5 people voted in Russian.
Okay, well, you're stuck with me. Okay, I'm more than happy to stay with it. I just wanted people to have the option. Okay, before we get to class, let's do some rejoicing. Now, I'm going to start the rejoicing first because I had an interesting thing happen this morning that I think is a good example of overreacting to some good news. Because we always talk about overreacting with anger, but how about with good news? So I've been trying to find these photographs for an article I'm writing for quite a while. And I finally found them. And hang on, let me turn off something that's bugging me here. I finally found them. Well, I got to a librarian in an archive who found me photographs that are absolutely exquisite. Color photographs that have never seen the light of day with this particular program. These pictures are extraordinary. I couldn't have imagined them. So I thanked the lady profusely, and I asked if she had said that she should get a raise. And I asked if there was anybody I could write a letter to thanking them for having such a wonderful employee. And it occurred to me that that's a bit of an overreaction because I was so excited. I had to be careful doing that. It's not that it was wrong. It's just as you can. I think we all know people. I'm thinking of one person in particular in my life who has such enthusiasm for everything she does that it can be overwhelming. It's not bad. It's just you just want to. It's overwhelming. So I confess to be slightly overwhelming with my enthusiasm, but I can't tell you how exciting those photographs were. Color photographs and these photographs are from 1979. So nearly half, oh man, I am that old, nearly half a century. So that's how about something good, something better? Oh, my wife's off on a 10-day retreat up in Colorado, so I'm by myself. She's very worried about that. So my sister's going to call to make sure I'm okay. So last night at 11:30, I asked if she wanted me to make some cookies for her trip. And she looked at me, she said, but it's 11:30. And I said, so I want to make you cookies. So she said, okay. And I made her some special cookies. And she always gets to lick the beaters. So she had a very fun time with that before she went to bed. And I got an email. She's riding up to the retreat with one of our students that lives in Tucson in his brand new Tesla. So she emailed me from their first energy stop. They had to stop and plug his car in to get the battery back up. So she's getting the full Tesla experience. Okay, that's me. Jackie, you're up.
Hello, dearest friends and dear Lama Sumati. Thank you for your beautiful sharing. Grateful to be able to share that today, when we heard that a family member needs to have support with their shopping, that we're joyfully going on a family trip to look at a mobility shop and see what they have available for a shopping cart so they can have their shopping easily to carry, so they don't have to carry it in their hands, but they have something that they can wheel around. And so we're now going to be able to look for that. And I'm grateful that we didn't take too long to make sure that they can get the support that they need and make sure that we can quickly find this for them so they can continue to have independence and to live their life more joyfully and without straining themselves. And may everyone remember that others around us, as they get older, need support and love, and may we be able to share that with others. Thank you.
Very good. That's exactly the motivation and the dedication. That's beautiful, Jackie. That's going to assure that you will have karma ripening in the future for that kind of help for yourself. So very good. And we of the Handicapped Society applaud your efforts. Okay, Natalia, you look like you're half asleep, dear.
Am I sorry? I didn't mean to look half asleep.
No, that's all right.
I don't feel asleep, but it's hot here in Dallas, so in Texas, so maybe that's why. So I don't have any rejoicing to do, but I have a goal. Maybe I can share my goal.
Sure.
My goal is to have 1 hour every day doing something that I enjoy. It should not be teaching or studying or work.
So what's it going to be? Watch a
don't know
movie?
No. I didn't want to waste time watching movies, but who knows? Haven't come up with yet. Still,
Well, if you can find a Dharma movie, we try and watch movies that are cheerful and have a Dharma message in them. My wife lately likes to watch movies about romantic comedies about people getting together and getting married. And I've watched a few too many of those, but she doesn't like action films. You can find Dharma in action films too, but I'm not sure what we're gonna start watching more documentaries, I think. But well, that's a good goal. An hour is certainly a worthy amount of time. So good luck with and then the way to assure that you're going to get the enjoyment you want is obviously to help others get the enjoyment they want. So,
yes, thank you for reminding. That's very good. Thank you.
okay, Katya and Sheila, good to see your smiling faces. Katya, what do you have to rejoice in today?
Hi, hello. I rejoice that I certified the ACI 4. I already finished and I have the certification, so I'm very happy.
Which course is that?
Huh?
Which course?
4. The ones
4.
that, yeah, the ones that.
Very good. Yay. Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah. And also I rejoice that I was watching the last class that I didn't came, and in YouTube there's 19 views of the class, so this is a good number.
19.
19 views you have for the class in English.
English. Okay. Well, okay. Sheila, you're up.
Hi. I rejoice that you are going to stay teach us the Lam Rim. And also I rejoice that we are going to Heart Sutra retreat in Barcelona, and we already buy the airplane. Yes.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
How exciting.
I'm very happy.
Wow. Well, I was obviously very excited to go. Now I'm even more excited. So that's really good to hear. Wow. Wow, that's just really good to hear.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And I want to say to Natalia, you can walk or do some exercise.
Go start running marathons.
Yes, it's very.
Or maybe walk.
Well,
yes.
Okay, Svetlana, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. I'd like to rejoice that today when my colleague told us that she wants to study something about business analytics, I helped her to find some courses which can be helpful for her, find some materials and study programs, and she started to dig into it. And I dedicate these seeds that everyone could find those appropriate opportunities which can help them on their path in their studying experience.
Excellent. That's it. You helped her, you dedicated to everybody getting what they need, which includes you. Wonderful. You guys are really getting the rejoicing idea. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Becky, you can type your response unless you're able to speak today.
Okay, yeah, I can say it. I have 3. I want to rejoice that the time changed, so it's 4 Eastern time now instead of 5, so I can come again. And I hope that everyone else is so convenient for them. And number 2, I want to rejoice for sharing the Dharma, because a friend of mine, I sent her the information for the July Tara teaching, and she's going to come.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm really happy for her that she can do it. And I'm going to come again. And I want to rejoice that a year ago I started doing nightly rejoicing, like a short coffee meditation. So I'm celebrating 1 year. I've missed some, like I don't do every night, but it's a year since I dedicated myself to starting.
Good for you. Rejoicing's, I find I can't do it easily when I'm going to bed. Because believe me, I shut my eyes and I'm asleep in 30 or 40 seconds. It's just with this new bed I have, my body walks by that bed and tries to convince me to go lay down. It's really, really comfortable. So I rejoice throughout the day. I sent you all the page of rejoicing, didn't I? I think,
Yes, previous.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a a bit long, but it's a thorough rejoicing. Okay, Evgeny, you're up. I'm saving the last for the best.
Я хочу порадоваться
I
сегодня
would like to rejoice today that I'm here on this class and can spread these teachings. And I would like to rejoice today that I finished ACI 12.
Wow.
And I would like to rejoice that all those people who finished first and second Lam Rim, they stay here, and it became my second family. And sometimes my seeds are ripening that I understand English language, although I don't know it at all.
Well, considering you're getting taught by someone who barely speaks it properly, I commend your effort. Well, that's very good. Course 12. Wow. That's next on the list for teaching. I think we'll start up again. I think we're starting up again in early June. So, well, the other thing I rejoice in, we're teaching, I'm trying to teach the White Tara, 21 praises, Jainong and White Tara blessing to as many countries as possible. And as you might imagine, if it's spanning from Tucson all the way to Australia, that's a lot of time zones. So it's been very hard to make a schedule that is convenient for everybody. I'm not worried about it being convenient for me because I can stay up and teach. That's not an issue. I don't want my students to not be able to attend because they can't stay up. So what I decided to do was to double teach several of the sessions. So the Asian students, and I don't know if it's going to work for you, Jackie, but the Asian students are getting up at a decent hour, getting class at a decent hour. Let's see. Yeah, I'm teaching from 6 to 9 a.m. Tucson time, and that makes 8 to 11 or 9, 8 to 11 or 9 to 12 for Malaysia. So I don't think that's conducive for you, Jackie. I apologize for that. But it was a lot of fun putting together a spreadsheet that automatically calculates the different time zones. It's not difficult to do. I just enjoy doing that kind of thing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so class. Geshe Michael spent most of class 2 again talking about motivation and what we're trying to accomplish. So we've been talking about checking in on your motivation when you do something like this teaching. You sit here and take this class. So Pabonka Rinpoche, when he was teaching this, asked his audience to check in on your motivation before the teaching continued. So I'm going to ask us all to do that. Let me see. I need to get I'd like you all to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and I want you just to think why you're taking this class. And you can share why if you'd like, but you don't have to. So starting now, let me get my phone working properly here. Oh, come on, phone. There we go. Okay, timer. Zero. Okay. So 3 minutes of thinking why you're in the class, why you're taking it. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. So obviously, if you're getting ready to go out or write in an email, you can't close your eyes and think for 3 minutes about why you're doing something. And you're not to judge yourself about it. It's not that this is a good or bad thing you're doing. It's the idea of your motivation, and also thinking a little bit about, or a lot, about the fact that what you're doing is driven by your past deeds. When I talk about the past being the present being the future, it's consciously thinking that the situation you're in now, for instance, well, what's a good example for me? I'm tired of using Parkinson's. Well, I was informed by some kind of, I'm not sure who he was, but that I was using a font on the list website that wasn't an open font, meaning I had to license it. And I had no idea I had to license a font on the internet. And so I immediately checked to see if it was a scam. And apparently it's not, because the lady who helped me get the website together said that it's true. You have to pay a license fee. So most people use one or two or three fonts if they don't want to pay a license fee. So instead of getting mad, instead of getting mad about how ludicrous this is, I said, okay, I need to do something about it. So I wrote to this student that had helped me with the website, and she suggested a new font for me. It was easy to convert the spreadsheet to the new font, but that meant I had to reload everything onto the website. So I could have either taken that and said, well, that's stupid. I don't want to waste my time doing that. It's not fair. Or I could just say, okay, that needs to be done. I'm going to do it. Because I know what my motivation was. I want other people to get what they need in a timely manner. And I don't want to do something that's illegal. Even if it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's irrelevant whether I think it should be illegal or not. If the point is I needed to do it. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when we stop and think of what we're doing. The reason I needed to do that was I, in the past, ignored some rules that I shouldn't have. And now it came back to ripen as karma to me that I had apparently, in all innocence, because I didn't know anything about it, made the mistake of using a font that I shouldn't have. But that was due to my past actions ripening in the present. So if in the future I don't want to see that, I had to react in a mature, wise way. So every time you do something from now on, and you'll lose steam on this, but for the next whenever, be thinking as you do something why you're doing it. And to me, the why isn't is it okay to be doing it? Obviously, you don't want to do something that's wrong, but the reason you're having to do it is because of past karma ripening. And you need to remember that all the time. Okay. So you could say here, you're here at this teaching because it would be a nice thing to do for an hour and a half, make you happier at work. So if you're thinking you can be happier at work, how is your work? What's it going to lead to? You want to rise in the family? Do you want to keep working in that particular company? Do you have another goal in mind? If so, how can you make that happen? Well, that's karma ripening. So we know about karmic partners and things like that. That's an example of following what you're doing in a way that you can make it happen. Now, we have the argument from many students that says, It can't possibly happen now because it's in this lifetime and karma doesn't ripen that quickly. Well, I don't pretend to know the ins and outs of karma, but it seems to me that there's no reason it couldn't ripen right away. Because you never know who's the power of the karmic object you're doing something towards. So, following your motivation for anything, taking these classes, studying, completing classes, getting certificates, that's all coming to you from your past karma. And I really think I know I don't think about it as much as I hadn't in the past, and now I think about it quite a bit more. It doesn't mean you can't work, you can't have a job, you can't do things that are fun. What you're doing can be meaningful or it can be meaningless. It could lead to a tantric paradise or to your death. It depends on you, your motivation, not the work. That's something to remember. He's teaching us to run through the future ramifications of, for instance, getting in your car before you do it. How is going to work going to help me be a better person? I don't know, but you need to think in that way. So before you get in your car or eat a meal, think about what's going on. Think about the karma to be there and the karma you're going to generate by responding to the result of that karmic cause. So Prabhupada Rinpoche in this first chapter is trying to get us to a point where we can have an automatic review of what we're doing before we do anything. So you could take it this far. You could say on a Sunday, well, that's an interesting question. For everybody, I'm just curious, how does your week go? My week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday. But the reason for that, and this is going to sound pretty strange, is when we were in London when I was 8 years old, we had tea towels for drying dishes. And this is the other question. So one, how does your week start? And two, how do you view a calendar? For me, the calendar is January through April, May through August, September through December. In my mind, that's how I count, and that's because of the tea towels in Britain when I was 8 years old. So I'm going to ask each of you, if you don't mind, how does the year line up for you? This is silly, but I like asking silly questions sometimes. So Jackie, how does the year line up for you?
Something I probably haven't really thought about, just day to day, and acknowledging that you've moved to the next month and that you wish to set goals and keep looking through the goals over each month and see where you've reached at the end of the year and celebrate especially.
But you don't have a lineup. You don't have January through April and May. Okay, maybe I'm just weird. How about the week? Does the week start on Sunday or start on Monday?
Probably Monday to Sunday.
No, interesting. Okay, Natalia, I saw you frown when I said my weeks went from Sunday to Saturday.
I just heard somebody mention that Monday is the day of the moon, and it is not a good day to start something. So I think you're doing very good that your week doesn't start on Monday.
How does your week start?
Monday.
Monday. Good. Well, that's two of us. How about your year? How does the year work? Do you ever think of the year in that sense?
The
The
year,
calendar?
it's I think for January is like in the calendar. Year is when
You
it's
just think of it month to month?
they kind of blur now it's so fast, so it's like
Oh.
blur. And very often I think what day of the week it is, what month it is, and I am trying to remember. It's hard to remember nowadays.
Oh, I was taught a trick by one of my bosses in one of the jobs I had. For every month, so you start the month, pick a day. So let's say, well, for July, I know that the 12th is a Friday because that's when the White Tara starts. So now I can tell what day of the week any particular date is for that month because I've anchored it with Friday the 12th. So, okay, Sheila and Katya. Katya, go first because you're on the left of my screen.
Yes.
So how do you think of the week?
I start Monday, and the month I in month by month.
Month by month. Okay.
Sometimes I have in my mind January to June, and then July to December.
Wow. Okay, so you cut the year in half.
Yes, in half.
Okay, Sheila.
And I also start my week on Monday and finish on Sunday. And the year, I also thinking in January to May, and then, no, January to April, and then May to August, and then September, December. Because,
All right.
because I teach I teach by how do for 4 months is one how do you say is one class, and they finish, and then 4 months another class, and
right. Got it. Well, that makes sense. Okay, Svetlana.
Yeah, my week also starts on Monday, and as a year, I think like month by month, and maybe I just highlight summer season, like January till May, and summer is like a small life. It's like Russian proverb. Summer is like a small life. So like summer season, June and August, and then September, December.
Okay. Well, Becky, how about you? Okay. And Evgeny, how about you?
If, my week starts from Monday, and year I divide from January to May, from May to September, and from September to December.
Okay.
And maybe even from September to May.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious. That's our view of time. And this is just probably one of the stupidest questions I've asked you guys, but I'm just curious about stuff like this. I don't know why. Maybe I should write a book about it. No, I'm not. I've been told by one of my students to write a book of my jokes, but that'd be a very thin book. Okay. So again, before you do something, think of why you're doing it. And it's the how, it's all the things I talk about. It's the how and the why. It's your karma so, not your karma but. It's the past is your present. All that ties together with how you need to look at what you're doing. And some people would say, well, I don't have any choice. This is that nihilistic view. It's my karma, so I don't have any choice. And karma doesn't exist. I can do whatever I want. It's that left and the two sides of the cliff of that narrow path we walk as Mahayana practitioners. But how often do we remember that? And what Pabonka Rinpoche, I think, is saying is start remembering that all the time. And if you do, you'll find yourself not saying it's my karma, but you'll find yourself saying it's my karma so. My karma got me into Parkinson's. My karma is going to get me out of Parkinson's. Nothing else is. Now, you say, well, medication will. Well, medication will, but it's not the medicine that's doing it. It's my karma to have the medicine work that's doing it. It's my karma to be in a world where the pharmaceutical industry makes a compound that helps with my health. Okay, so let's continue on here. So he gives an example. Just flow to the end. Geshe Michael's eating a cookie at the Paradise Bakery. Why? Because I want to. Does it have any possible consequence or impact on the day I die? Well, he says no. Maybe I'll die a little faster because it's not good for me. You start refining what you do because you judge how it affects you. The others at yourself and others at death and beyond. You can enjoy the cookie, but maybe in a different and deeper way. So for Natalia to want to take an hour and just be happy, that's a wonderful idea. But not to just be happy for happiness' sake, but to be happy because that's how you're going to generate the pleasantness of happiness in your future. And if you dedicate doing that 1 hour to others finding the time. So you start doing it and someone goes, I've heard you taking an hour out of the day and just being happy. How does that work? And you spread that, then you're teaching and you're causing other people to have a happy hour. Oh, that's where the term happy hour came from. No, it isn't. Happy hour is involving drinking. I think we can make a new happy hour, a happy hour with tea or coffee. Now, you know why this isn't a joke. This is my idea of why things happen. Why don't Tibetans drink coffee? Because they didn't have any. If they'd had coffee, they sure as heck would be drinking coffee instead of tea. The same for the Russians and everybody over in that neck of the woods. They always drink tea. I don't so much not like tea, but I like coffee more. Actually, I like the taste of coffee. My parents thought I drank water flavored with coffee. When they made coffee, you could put a spoon in it, would stand straight up. It was so thick. Well, it didn't really stand straight up, but they put, as they say in our country, to put hair on your chest, their coffee. Okay, let's move along here. So we'll reach the first day of the teaching. So this is what happened on the first day that Pabonka Rinpoche taught. He talks about the matchless king of the Dharma, Dzongkapa. This is all coming from Dzongkapa's holy lips. Now we start 800 pages of explanation. The first thing that Pabonka Rinpoche says is, in Tibetan, it means well then. It's funny to start the greatest book with well then. In the monastery, it means something different. In a monastery, it means the debate master says it when the debate is over or your part is over. It's like separating two boxers. In a debate, it means enough. We've have enough to know the answer. It's very significant at the beginning of 800 pages that he quotes Dzongkapa, even more important than the Buddha. He chooses to start his 24 days of teaching with the greatest of all lamas. Then he's going to quote the king of the Dharma, the personal experience. So Geshe is teaching much of what he teaches in this Lam Rim is coming from his own personal experience. So what else I want to say about that? Geshe Michael talks about the weird karma going on that everyone respects the Dalai Lama. And all this is better than a wish-giving gem. Why do we talk about something being better than a wish-fulfilling jewel? This isn't a trick question. It's not a joke. I'm just see if you guys know the answer.
May I?
Certainly.
Thank you. Because with people, they give us the greatest ability to transform ourselves, and we never know, with the genie, we don't know what the potential is that we wish to actually strive for. The potential is unlimited, and that people change us and help us to grow ourselves and to be the best of who we can be.
Right. I think you hit on part of it by saying we don't know what the best we can be is. A wish-fulfilling jewel can only, if such a thing existed, could only give what you wish. And I don't know what the direct perception of emptiness, I don't know what enlightenment is. So a wish-fulfilling jewel, if you say, I want to be enlightened, well, that jewel, you have to be more specific. So a wish-fulfilling jewel can only, if it existed, could only give you what you wish for. And since you don't know I don't know what enlightenment is like, I can't wish for it. So doing something that's directly related to reaching enlightenment, the study and practice of the Dharma, is more powerful than a wish-fulfilling jewel. Now, Geshe goes through and talks about how you take care of a wish-fulfilling jewel, which I thought would be kind of fun to, let's see if I can find that. Well, before he does that, he segues into the karma of this life. Your present circumstances will lead to a future that you cannot even imagine. You have a strange and beautiful future ahead, and this wish-fulfilling jewel could not begin to fill that. What's going to happen on this planet in your lifetime, you can't even begin to imagine. This is the only chance you will ever have. Well, that's not quite true. It's unique. The chances of you being born again as a human in a world where you can practice the Dharma is quite small. Very small. But I don't see that as an encumbrance to being reborn here. It's not that I disagree, it's that if I firmly believe all that I'm doing now is going to cause a rebirth in something similar to the desire realm on this planet, then I personally believe I'll be reborn as a human. Now that may be naive, but I have a goal. If I'm don't reach enlightenment in this lifetime, I want to be reborn as a human. So if I'm going to do that, I need to know what I need to do and how to do it, which is what all these teachings are about. And I believe if I study and try and understand emptiness hard enough, I will be reborn as a human. Some of my students in South Africa know I have a particular watch that I like. Have I showed you that watch? Oh, this, you're gonna,
Astronaut watch.
okay. I used to collect watches. Come on. Okay. This is my favorite watch from all time. It's a Speedmaster chronograph. It's a watch I wanted for years, and I finally was able to buy one. And so my South African students want to be sure that when I die, I make sure one of them gets this watch so that they will know when they go looking for my reincarnation, they'll show them the potential candidate in my watch. And that will mean that will identify, they'll be able to identify my reincarnation. So that's them thinking quite a bit ahead. But that's the kind of watch the astronauts wear in orbit and on the moon. So I've got one of those kind of watches. Yay for me. Okay, so let's go back to about all the things you're worried about right now don't matter much. What's so helpful during the day? I always try to remember who I hated 3 years ago, and I can't remember their names. Relax. No point to worry. You've got to suffer, but to worry about it is self-inflicted. So this is a good example of, well, my Parkinson's for me, but when we talk about self-inflicted, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's so obvious to me that all this is happening to me because of my past deeds. And I'm so blessed to have the Dharma to help me understand how I need to react to the present so my future is what I want it to be. I don't worry about the present in the sense that I'm not thrilled with the government and the possibility of the former President Trump being president again. But I know that's coming from my past deeds. So my solution can't be to argue and whine about it as much as I don't whine about it. Well, this is kind of whining. This is a little bit of whining. But it's coming from my past deeds. So do better, David, Sumati, do better yourself. And dedicate that. And in the future, your life will be more pleasant. You'll have a government that's more pleasant. Now, my wife and I have been tracking what's called Generation Z, which isn't us. Well, I'm from, what generation am I? I'm a baby boomer. Then there were the millennials. Now there's Generation Z. And from what my wife has found, Generation Z, the people that are Generation Z, are very much concerned with the environment and helping other people get what they need, and less concerned about being right or being Democrat or being Republican. So we take great solace in the fact that we have the karma to see a generation of people coming that in another 10 to 15 years will be running our country, the countries around the world. And so we rejoice in that. That's our karma ripening from all the work we've done, our karma ripening to have a generation of students and people that are more concerned about others than they are about themselves. being a monk and memorizing books can be very worldly. Don't think worldly means family life. You must strive day and night to make something meaningful of your life. So, how have I done that? Well, I've done it in two ways. I've developed a reasonable skill of being able to analyze mechanical things and fix them. I'm not complicated. I can't fix a rocket or something, but I can fix stuff. And I worked very hard during 3-year retreat, being the in-retreat fixer of problems in between our deep retreat sessions. But what's taking the most joy for me so the most joy I have is taking care of my lovely wife. That's my first. My second is taking care of all of you, trying to help you along the path. And my third is I love writing about technology. That really floats my boat. And so I will go to my death knowing my life has been meaningful for me. I'm not going to sit back and when I'm dying say, oh, I wish I'd done this. I didn't do anything meaningful. I did. I did, and I'm still doing. So if you can't say the same thing about your life, now is the time to recognize that you haven't done something fruitful and change your life to be doing something fruitful. It doesn't mean you have to give up for you guys running. So you run. Is that helping anybody else, or is that just you feeling good? Well, you're taking care of your bodies in a way that you enjoy. And by taking care of your bodies, by teaching the ACI course, learning the ACI courses and teaching them, you're setting examples to others on how to lead a helpful, fruitful, healthy life. So yes, running's important. If you're doing it because you want to get medals, maybe not so good. But if you're doing it to remain healthy and reach a goal and be happy about reaching a goal, I salute you. I think that's terrific. If you're not, don't run. If you're like me and you sit around, ride a stationary bike, that's okay too. It's your motive. My motivation for riding a stationary bike is I can do it indoors where it's pleasant temperature, takes care of my heart, burns some calories, and it's convenient. It doesn't matter what time of day I want to ride my bike, what the weather's like, I can do it. I used to jog. I used to run 4 or 5 miles a day. Really enjoyed it, kept in pretty good shape that way. But why do we stopped doing that because we lived across the street from the cross-country course for community college. It was fantastic. It had hills, and it was really a nice course. I have a lot of fond memories. That was fun. We used to play volleyball, power volleyball. My wife was a setter, and she was a very good setter. So I learned to play using her setting, and we played doubles. She's a really good volleyball player. Anyway, I digress. My point is, find something in your life, make it meaningful to you. It doesn't have to be meaningful to anyone else. Someone might look at me and say, you write books about nuclear weapons. How dumb is that? Well, go ahead and feel that. That doesn't matter to me. I'm not making an opinion about what you do. So, but the fact that someone's telling me that opinion means that I did the same thing in a past life. So I need to mind my own business and not butt into someone else's and tell them what they need to do. So this all circles back to what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And again, it's really, really important for you to decide whether what you're doing is meaningful, not compare it to somebody else, and then make sure what you're doing is not only meaningful to you, but meaningful to others. And the way I do that is to make sure that what I'm doing is meaningful to others because I'm trying to help others gain respect for something like the technology, the industry of technology that made all this possible. I'm celebrating the fact that men and women can make these complex devices, the ingenuity of man. And it's comforting to me to know that down the road, I know how exciting it is for me to find a book that covers a subject I'm interested in great detail and fun to read. And what I've realized now with the 6, I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is my 7th book. They're going to be in the Library of Congress, and 50 years from now, 100 years from now, someone may want to know about some aspect of missilery, and they'll look up and they'll read a book by this guy, David K. Stumpf. Well, who was he? Why was he? I see a picture of me on the back of the book, and they go, oh, that guy looks kind of dumb. I wonder how he got to writing these books. But I'm not doing, I'll be dead. There'll be no, and everybody I know will be dead in 100 years. Well, near pretty much 100 years from now, I'll be dead. But I'll still have an impact on people's lives. Now, speaking of impacts, most important impact I'm going to have on anybody's life was making the water system for Diamond Mountain. Of all the things I've done in my life, besides marrying my lovely wife and meeting Geshe Michael, the most important thing I've done is making the water system for Diamond Mountain. That, without a doubt. Now, did I think of that? Did I really think of that when I volunteered to do it? I volunteered to do it initially because it needed to be done. I didn't think about the karmic end of it. But Geshe Michael brought that up to me one day when we were talking about the water system. And he said, you know, David, for the rest of eternity, when people use water at Diamond Mountain, it'll be because you had the skills to put it together. And yay. I'll take whatever karmic seed ripening, rejoicing I can get. So, Shizal Kapa says, I'm not going to take the time to prove to you you have previous lives, but come on, just be logical. You didn't come from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. Things come from similar causes. Your mind comes from a similar mind stream. Your mind, you can't create mind from chemicals. The mind is different. It cannot come from physical things. Your mind has gone on forever. You should take joy in that. It's not weird or something. I don't think you have to be bad because you've been around forever. You're in the cycle of life. You can't point to an experience you've not had. Now that's interesting. That's something I don't see how I could have been everybody's mother. I'm not saying Master Shantideva or Lord Buddha is wrong. I just don't see that. I've had a human body countless times. So I guess in that sense, I must have been somebody's mother. Well, it's like the phrase, what's the phrase they use? When someone's having a drink at noon, instead of in the evening at a bar, they say, well, it's 9 o'clock somewhere, so it's okay to have a beer now. So this is the bottom line for this class. If you can make yourself happy, the rest will take care of itself. But if you can't make yourself happy, then what are you going to do for the people of Calcutta or elsewhere? The great goal of this life is to find great happiness. Now you have a chance to, because of the knowledge we're teaching, there's this training or knowledge we can achieve, and then we can serve others. We don't think about it much, but we should. You are amazing. It's a miracle. You're listening to the Dharma. That's a miracle. It's a miracle I can teach it. It's a miracle we have a Geshe Michael that translates so beautifully. So Pamonka Rinpoche says, it's not true that your mind and body that you have right now are more precious than a wish-giving jewel. They're more precious than 100,000 wish-giving jewels. Oh, I was going to tell you how do you take care of a wish-fulfilling jewel. That's pretty much the end of class, I think. So let's go over that. So you find a wish-fulfilling jewel. You have to wash the jewel 3 times in different liquids. Then you have to wipe it dry with 3 different kinds of cloth. And that's the 3 true sum mentioned in the text. Ocean water, you need salt water, then take a cloth made of horsehair and buff it. Secondly, you use fish water, juice from a fish, soak in the fish juice, like when you take saffron, you put it in water before initiation as a cleansing. Put the jewel in fish gut soup or fish juice, then take a soft cotton cloth and buff it. The last one is to soak it in quicksilver overnight, then wipe it clean with velvet or silk. Quicksilver is mercury. That's pretty toxic material. I don't even know where they would have found that much mercury. Mercury occurs is mined as mercuric oxide. It's a bright red chemical. And if you heat mercuric oxide, you get little balls of mercury. For what it's worth. Okay, what's left here? That's about all I want to say today. Don't think of becoming a Buddhist as being boring. Being Spider-Man would be fun. You could be Spider-Man in so many ways and helping people. You can be Spider-Man. It doesn't mean you're jumping between buildings. It means you're helping people right at the time they need you to help them. Oh, this is Geshe Michael translated for His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's doctor while he was in New York one visit. Somebody asked him a question. They said, "Oh, Dr. Dundan." He had just finished describing the causes of cancer. They translated that he said everything Americans eat is carcinogenic. So this guy asked, so what's a normal person living in a normal city supposed to do if every electrical wire causes cancer, car tires cause cancer? He says, you must have mistranslated. He said they're not the causes of cancer. They contribute to cancer. But cancer is, guess what? Your karma. It has nothing to do with rubber or electricity or plastic or eating meat or not eating meat. It's an expression of your karma. Okay. Okay, I think we'll call it for the day. So let's dedicate this. This is kind of amorphous, but this is how the teaching started. Setting your motivation, realizing this teaching, the fact that you can come to a teaching, the fact that we had Geshe, the fact that the book was written, it was translated, and Geshe Michael is teaching it in such a wonderful way, based on the wonderful teaching Pabonka Rinpoche gave, is all coming from our past deeds of doing something really beneficial for others in our past lives. So never kid yourself. You're the reason this book exists. I'm the reason this book exists. I didn't write it, but I do have the karma to have it in my life. So in that sense, I'm the one who wrote the book. But you have to put karma in there. I can't go to someone and say, well, you could go to someone and say, my teacher said he wrote the book. He's the whole reason the liberation thrust in the palm of your hand exists. And they say, no, he isn't. He didn't write it. Well, if you don't have the karma for the book, for the Geshe writings to be in your life, they're not in your life. So if you do have the karma, they're in your life. So bottom line is, I'm responsible for having the liberation thrust in the palm of my hand in my life. Pure and simple. Okay. Well, thank you for the opportunity to teach. I'm glad you all voted to keep me as your teacher. That's very nice. I'll try to live up to it. So one of these days I'm going to read I did that, I think, in the Wheel of Life teaching. I'll do that at the dedication for the White Tara teaching. So Becky's going to come. Who else is going to come to the White Tara teaching? Natalia. I think Svetlana is going to be my translator. I have to be extra special nice to her so that she doesn't get mad at me when I talk too much. Okay. Well, here's the dedication. O Gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, O Tara, Mother of us all, please listen to what I now say from the depths of my heart. Please watch over Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snow. He who is of one taste with Avalokiteshvara, guide him and protect him, that he may live long to bring liberation to his people and the Dharma to all sentient beings. May all his goals and wishes be achieved. Through this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of Guru Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the source of benefit and goodness, the Dharma, spread and expand. May the beings upholding the Dharma have excellent health. May the source of happiness and well-being for all embodied beings, the Dharma taught by the Buddhas, always increase. And may I have the karma to continue teaching for as long as I can. And may it be so. Okay, have a great weekend. What am I going to do this weekend? I'm going to get the White Tara teaching lined up and get the translation material to Pei Ling. I don't know how many of you know Pei Ling. She's a Malaysian student. She's very excited about getting this to the Vietnamese and Malaysian community. So she's very enthusiastic. She wrote me actually a really very beautiful letter asking if I would teach it to the Vietnamese and the Malaysian. Sometimes I get embarrassed. People write such nice letters to me. I should frame some of them. Okay, now I'm being silly. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you all on Tuesday and continue this journey around samsara. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.